Welcome back to Quality TV, everyone. In today's video, we're going to talk about this ever-evolving migrant crisis that's sweeping America. In some states, it is completely out of control, and it doesn't seem like we're going to get any relief. It doesn't seem like it's getting better by any means. Local authorities, they have no legal jurisdiction to actually deal with migrant criminals. But we're going to talk about the two different states, New York and Denver. I'm sure if you've heard about what's going on in Denver, unless you've been under a rock, but that's a good thing if you've been under a rock, because I'm going to give you the information here today. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
New York City's sanctuary status reached a breaking point in January near Times Square, where a group of migrants allegedly attacked two police officers. The case is pending, but the question remains, should New York City reconsider its sanctuary status? Currently, local law enforcement is restricted from cooperating with federal immigration authorities. Even when migrants are convicted of crimes and released, immigration authorities are often not notified, hindering potential deportations. Public opinion in New York is divided.
I think that the courts should communicate with ICE and get rid of people who are committing crimes.
A lot of the hotels.
Here's the thing, though. With these sanctuary city laws, the locals, they can't do anything. Legally, they can't do anything. Most of these people are undocumented. They're ghosts, essentially. That's why they can get away with so much. What fingerprints do they have in the system? Unless they're like on the terrorist watch list, they don't have any information on these guys. They don't have driver's license. They don't have ID. These are the same people that we can give money to, that we're paying for their cost of living since they came to America. We, the American people, are paying for their.
I have migrants, but I've never had any issues with them whatsoever. Give them, you're tired, you're poor, your huddled masses are yearning to be free. I mean, that's what New York City's all about.
Meanwhile, migrant activists feel the issue is being blown out of proportion.
I absolutely think that the sanctuary status should remain. I mean, this sort of emphasizing the isolated instances of migrants committing crimes is just very typical. You cherry pick the stories.
Shut up. Just shut up, because you might be living well off. You're not living next door to these people, lady. Like, you got people, American citizens, who have no choice but to live in certain areas, and this is what they're dealing with. These people are scared, but you can get on here and, girl, shut up. And teed me off here with that. Like, maybe make a sanctuary county. I get it, people trying to escape persecution, things like that. Better, safer life. We got people at home we need to take care of, and she tweaking.
Emphasize the negative, and you scapegoat a certain group of people.
In response to VOA's question on the matter,
who's the scapegoat? Was she talking about the current administration? No, they're not. They're not a scapegoat. They're actually the cause. But I digress.
August 27th press conference, New York City Mayor Eric Adams expressed his views on modifying the city's sanctuary status.
People who commit violent acts on New Yorkers and other migrants and asylums and undocumented individuals should not remain in our country after they serve their time.
The federal government is also weighing in.
We don't want to eradicate the sanctuary policies. We just want minor changes where we can collaborate with NYPD and arrest these individuals and take them off the street.
Ginallo says there is currently no objective data on migrant crime in the Big Apple.
The problem with trying to get figures and stats on migrant crime or the non-citizens is that New York City is a sanctuary city. They have sanctuary policies that hamper and hinder any cooperation with us. So if an individual is arrested, NYPD is not allowed to ask country of citizenship, so you really don't know. So when they say stats as though maybe the crime is less or more, you really can't tell in the sanctuary city.
City residents, meanwhile, are left to weigh whether the migrant crime threat is exaggerated or accurate. Meanwhile, many homeless migrants are camping in tents on Randall's Island. Some say that after the sun sets, the atmosphere changes.
When you're outside, then you don't feel insecurity because there's a lot of people have a weapon. They have some of them have the knife.
Aquí es peligroso todo.
Here, everything is dangerous. People are fighting and killing. There's everything here.
With the city divided, the question remains whether New York can continue to be a sanctuary city while ensuring the safety of all its residents. The answer may shape the future of the city and its policies. With Igor Tikhomenko, Aaron Rainin, VOA News, New York City.
All right, so that was a short clip. I got another one for you in a second, but I just want to say take a moment to say, you got actual undocumented migrants that's terrified. It seems to me like these people, you got good ones in there. You got the ones that actually come here seeking a better life, and in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, welcome. I mean, everybody in America, we are all migrants to a certain extent. But you got ones that's coming in here raping people, killing. The guy has said it himself. You got ones coming in here raping people, raping our women, killing our women. Some of them that come over here for those exact reasons, and that's not okay. Someone you meet someone in the street, you kill them just because you feel like doing it. Like, you don't know what was going on, and that took somebody's life, someone's mom, someone's daughter, and then you're gonna go off and you can get away scot-free. The way the policies work with this sanctuary city thing, it's like the local law enforcement, they can't get involved. It's just, it makes no sense to me the way the sanctuary city policies are. In my opinion, you just have to get rid of all the policies, but make it, like the guy said, do some changes to it where you can actually interact with ICE.
New York City's migrant crisis continues apace, and the latest.
Come on, bro, look alive a little bit. This is funny to me. Look at him. But let's see what he had to say.
Data show that, completely unsurprisingly, it's crushing the city's poorest neighborhoods the hardest. 3 of the 5 zip codes with the highest concentration of shelters rank among the city's poorest.
Just so happened that on this list here, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, probably Jamaica, Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island. Come on. I don't even got to say it. You already know what I was about to say.
These include places like Jamaica in Queens and East New York in Brooklyn. One particularly egregious example can be found in Long Island City, another Queens neighbor, which currently plays home to an obscene 12% of the almost 200 shelters set up by the city to deal with the massive inflows of migrants caused by President Biden's open borders.
Was that? Look at that. That's not a shelter, bro. That is a apartment building. That can't be a shelter. Like, you're not finna lie to me and say that that's a migrant shelter. Bro, that is an apartment building. In New York. Sanctuary city. Why can't we just do sanctuary counties or some shit? Or a sanctuary town? We gotta give them whole cities.
100 shelters set up by the city to deal with the massive inflows of migrants caused by President Biden's open borders policy. What is having 12% of migrant shelters?
Bro, we cannot have open borders. The open border thing is so odd to me. What civilization has ever survived or lasted with open borders? Like China, for example. Hey, China has the Great Wall of China. They don't just let people in. China's doing so good because everybody in China is Chinese, and they don't have open borders. They have a Great Wall of China, but for some odd reason, it's a bad thing for us to have a Great Wall of America. Like, come on. But back to the video.
Your neighborhood look like? According to Long Island City residents, not great. They report being afraid to take their kids to local parks because migrants have taken them over as electric scooter racetracks and places to have sex in public. Crime in the precinct that covers Long Island City has seen a double-digit increase, 12.3%, across the first 6 months of the year over the first 6 months of the previous year, and that's even as major crimes have dipped slightly by 0.5 percentage point in the city as a whole. So not only do these migrant inflows into the shelters seemingly bring massive public safety and public disorder issues, they also represent an enormous fiscal drain on the city, with some $4.8 billion spent on the crisis so far, a number that looks almost certain to balloon over the next 2 fiscal years. What we have here is yet another case of a policy created and fought for.
Bro, those are not shelters. These are actual hotels and apartment complexes. Those aren't. Bro, you spending $4.6 billion on the migrants when you got veterans on the street, you got homeless people, like you got people that actually pay into the system, like that struggling out here. Like I pay taxes, bro. Like we pay taxes. We can't get. This is so stupid. This is so stupid.
By progressives. A policy towards migrants that demands they be sheltered, that hands them free food, has recently begun handing them preloaded debit cards, courtesy of a firm with connections to the ad.
How much money is on those preloaded debit cards? If anybody watching this video right now, if you know how much money is on those preloaded debit cards, drop it down in the comment section below, because I want to know how much money's on those cards, because I want a preloaded debit card. Give me some money. Come on, you giving it to everybody else? Give me some money too.
Administration, all while taking up space and eroding public safety in neighborhoods where the citizens were already economically hurting, already marginalized. Even as those very polls claim that they are fighting for the marginalized people whose neighborhoods they are flooding, we leave it up to post viewers to decide for themselves how believable those claims of championing the vulnerable.
It's not believable. They lying, bro. All right, and this brings me to my next clip. I just want to show you guys that it's not just New York, it's not just Colorado. This is everywhere, these sanctuary cities, but we're going to keep letting them do what they do because we can't do anything about it legally. Like, here's the thing. America, our legal system, it sucks. There's hundreds of loopholes in it. It's all over the place. But at the same time, it's also a good legal system, I think. It just needs some major reform. But
all right, get this. Federal authorities in El Paso relinquishing custody of a man linked to this violent jewelry robbery. This happened back in June in Denver. So our partners at News Nation.
So they traveling across the United States. This was so this happened in Denver, but federal authorities have him arrested in El Paso.
They're reporting it's part of a Venezuelan gang. They do report Homeland Security officials turned over the suspect, Gene Torres Roman, to the Denver County Sheriff's Office. The brutal robbery caught on video shows several young men pulling guns, even pistol whipping 2 women. So a few days after,
I'm actually surprised that nobody died in this situation, because where I'm from, if somebody pull up on you with a mask on, well, without a mask, somebody pulls up on you, pistol drawn, guns out, and they ain't got no mask on, you might as well say goodnight, because these dudes because that means they don't care. They're going in, doing robberies with no mask. Like, you can tell these dudes don't care, because you know why? They're going to get released and nothing's going to happen. I would do it too. If I knew I could go do a bunch of stuff and not actually get arrested for it, well, get arrested but get out, come on, I'll be the biggest criminal in the world.
Roman to the Denver County Sheriff's Office. The brutal robbery caught on video shows several young men pulling guns, even pistol whipping 2 women. So a few days after, El Paso SWAT officers took several people into custody, happened at a motel, and reportedly Torres was there. It's not clear what the status of the other people taken into custody are either.
The new video surfacing today showing a huge problem with what some are calling gang violence at an apartment complex in Aurora. The video shows men entering an apartment building with several weapons and then busting down a door.
And all of this taking place at the apartments, which had become a crime hotspot in that city. Fox 31.
All right, but that's my time for today. Well, that's my time for this video. I just want to bring some light to the ever-evolving migrant crisis that we're faced with in America nowadays. And if you enjoyed the content today, and if you want to bring some light to the situation also, feel free to share the content. You can like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Gets that algorithm going. That's what I need right now. I need that algorithm jumping. So if you would please just drop a like or a comment on the video, it'd be greatly appreciated. But I will see you guys on the next video. Take care and peace. Love and fish grease. I got to throw that fish grease in there, but bye-bye.